Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.
Hello, I'm John Owens, Editor-in-Chief of Anton Community Newspapers, a group of 18 newspapers that cover Nassau County. Our guest today is Bruce Blakeman, the Republican candidate to succeed Carolyn McCarthy in New York's 4th Congressional District. Why should you be the newest member of Congress?
Basically, we have an economy now where people can't find work, where people are being laid off, where people who have full-time work are now being offered part-time work. We need to turn the economy around, and we can only do that through the private sector. We need to expand the economy to create jobs by getting cheap energy, which we can do here in New York.
How?
Well, we have a 100-year supply of natural gas right on the southern tier in New York, and why we're not exploiting that, I can't tell you why. On one side of the border, where they're doing it in Pennsylvania, people are driving around in brand new Cadillac Escalades. On the other side of the border, they're driving around in 20-year-old pickup trucks. We have to cut regulations. For every employee that a small business hires, it's estimated by the Small Business Administration that it costs that small business $10,000 in bureaucracy and paperwork just for that one employee. Number 3, simplified tax code, less taxes. We got to cut the corporate tax, because if we don't do that, it's the highest tax in the world here in the United States. It's 39%. Overseas, there's trillions of dollars in American money that aren't coming here. We need that money back here to invest in people, technology, and equipment. If we just did those 3 things, we could turn the economy around and create jobs, because we got young people who are graduating from prestigious universities who can't find work. So we have a program where we can expand the economy, create jobs, and do it through the private sector, not through government.
The 4th Congressional District has been in Democrat hands for what, 17 years?
Yes.
What makes you think that voters are going to change?
Now in the 4th Congressional District, people are realizing how important it is to have a member of Congress that reflects their values. And the people that I talk to in the 4th Congressional District, they don't want Obamacare because it's killing jobs, it's raising the cost of health insurance, deductibles are going up, premiums are going up, co-pays are going up, and they're losing their choice of doctor.
What would you put in its place?
Well, first of all, the president said that we needed to fix the problem of the 30 million people that were uninsured or underinsured. Okay? There was a way to do that. We could have had an assigned risk program for pre-existing conditions, for people who had pre-existing conditions, just like we have in automobile policies for people who've been in a lot of accidents or have had a lot of speeding tickets. Have an assigned risk program, thereby, if you're in that category and you can afford it, you pay the higher premium. If you can't afford it, then government can come in and make up the difference, and we would solve the problem without dismantling the whole healthcare system. So there was a way to get that done.
What do you have as consolation for the people who live in the 4th Congressional District? This must be one of the highest taxed congressional districts there are, between county, village, town, state, federal. What kind of consolation can you give them?
Well, John, I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people think that the federal government can't do anything about property taxes. They can. It's called stopping the unfunded mandates on local government. And especially here in Nassau County, this is one of the few counties in the United States whereby on the county budget, they have to pay, the county taxpayers have to pay property taxpayers 25% of Medicaid costs, which is $270 million, without any say on who gets Medicaid, what kind of Medicaid services are provided. The county can't even investigate fraud, but they're responsible for $270 million in Medicaid. So what I would do is I would enact a law. I will certainly introduce a law as a congressman to say to every state in the United States, you may not pass along Medicaid costs to county government because they have no control over it. So if we reduce that contribution that property taxpayers in Nassau County have to make to Medicaid, we could cut taxes across the board by 15%. So I will introduce that legislation.
Well, thank you very much. I'm John Owens, Editor-in-Chief of Anton Community Newspapers, and I'd like to thank our guest, Bruce Blakeman, for coming today.